working qualifying, guys. Remember, no chat during qualifying.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Victory Fuel Cup Series here on Full Throttle Television. Tonight we are in the desert. We're doing a little duel in the desert here tonight at Phoenix Raceway for the Phoenix 250 here for the Victory Fuel Cup Series. My name's Bertie Hanna. In the booth with me is Tony Solari. And Tony, we are in for some action-packed racing here. We got the super speedways finished. We got the road course over with. Now, some people look at this as the start of the actual season when we start getting some of these oval tracks and a little bit more technical tracks here in the schedule.
Yeah, well, we're back to roundy rounds, but this track I wouldn't even consider a roundy round itself. I mean, it's got that dog leg. It's kind of a weird, weird kind of a shape to it. But yeah, it's still we're in the desert. We're at what is it, this the last race of the season? But here we are, finally the first kind of official race of the season, I would say. And yeah, it should be a little barn burner tonight here. This is a tough, challenging track. That dog leg presents its issues, and I've been hearing tire wear is a huge disadvantage tonight as well. So a lot of stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, some guys actually look at this as kind of the start of the regular season. Once we got we start with two super speedways on this schedule, then we go to a road course, and now you're going to start to see these guys figure out their setups and stuff on some of these technical tracks like Phoenix. We've got Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, let's just look at the schedule here coming up for the Victory Fuel Cup Series. If I can pull it up right here, we've got Las Vegas next week. Got Darlington after that. And then we head to Martinsville, Rockingham, Bristol, a couple of short tracks there in a row. Should be a lot of fun tracks coming up too.
Well, yeah, we're back to mile and a half next week, and then the following week, not my favorite track, but a lot of guys like it, Darlington, and yeah, then it's going to be Short Track City for a little while. So we are definitely getting into the swing of the first season here. So yeah, I think maybe we're going to see the cream rise to the top, with these next few races here, because we are going back to the typical NASCAR route style racing.
Yeah, before we move forward, let's look backwards and look at what happened last week. The Duramax 200 from COTA. Brandon Fetterplace getting it done out there with Tim Wortman coming home second, Joshua Gaiman third. Kind of a mix-up towards the front there. A new winner. Somebody new to kind of add to the championship fight at the top of the points there with Brandon Fetterplace taking home the win.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Some of the guys seemed to really enjoy it, and there was pretty good action. I remember Nick Elford kind of had a popped engine as well, and a little bit of point shakeups early in the season with that oddball third race road course. But yeah, Fetterplace got it done in the end. It was pretty exciting though too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was fun.
Good competition.
It was fun and very competitive too. And like you said, Fetterplace asserts himself as one of the championship contenders. No surprise there, as he won the playoffs last season in this series as well. Well, look at the points. You got Richard Coy leading the points right now by 11 over the 34 Fetterplace now. Victor Fluker up there as well. Victor's going to be one you're going to have to fight with too. He's been really fast around these tracks. Just looking for that first win, but he's been up front and been competitive. Of course, Wortman, Mr. Consistency right there. Tim Wortman in the 83 is going to be one to kind of watch as well. if any of these guys falter with the way these points are, you're going to see some guys kind of rise to the top, and you're just going to have to wait and see if they actually have problems as well.
I'm looking at all the top 10 right now. We've got a whole mixed bag of really talented drivers. And yeah, still being this early in the season. And I mean, Joshua Gayman's sitting in 10th right now. He's only 54 points behind. So, I mean, we could definitely have some shakeups, especially now. Again, we're kind of back in the NASCAR roots here. So this is where we're going to see some of these guys that dominate on these ovals. They're going to come to play, and we're going to see this points battle get shaken up quite a bit, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody finishing up qualifying here. As a matter of fact, qualifying is finished. So let's throw it to our starting lineup tonight for the Victory Fuel Cup Series Phoenix 250. And starting from the pole will be the number 28. That is Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. He's going to take the pole tonight in his Chevrolet. On the outside of the front row, the 83 of Tim Wortman. One of the guys we were just talking about. He's going to start from the front row, all Chevy front row here. Third place is last week's winner, the 34, Brandon Fetterplace, and his Toyota will roll off from the third position. Fourth spot is the points leader right now, the number 19 Victory Fuel Ford of Richie Coy. Starting P5 in the number 84, newcomer to the series this season. It's his first start of the season. Stephen Hollingsworth and his Chevrolet will roll off from fifth position. Joining him on the third row in sixth spot will be the 57. That is Jonathan Atkins. Starting seventh spot going to be the 98. That is Nick Alford, looking to turn his season around here. And starting on the fourth row with him in the eighth spot going to be the 18 Toyota of J.P. Burns. Starting in ninth spot, the 33 of Ben Tracy and his Chevrolet. And it's going to be a Chevrolet, the 21 of Victor Pfluger, starting beside him, rounding out your top 10. 11th place going to go to the 03. That is Brian Dixon. And the 12th spot going to the 61. That is Joshua Gayman.
All right, starting 13th, we have Mr. Lane Allen in car number 14. Then you have Derek Katz, car number 29, starting 14th. Kevin Ruff starting 15th in car 99. Julio Villalobos Jr. starting 16th in car 45. Alexander Hodge in 17th spot in car 53. Then you have Brian Bliss, car number 8 in the 18th spot. Mason Hoffner in the 19th spot, car number 30. David Duran, car 51. Where are you? In the 20th spot. That's where he is. And then you have Wyatt Hunley in the 22nd car, 21. I'm thinking probably nobody knows that joke either. Then you got Casey McMullen in car 72 in the 22nd spot. Wayne Grossi, car number 7 in the 23rd spot. James Torrey in the 24th spot in car number 6. Ryan Huff in car number 93 in the 25th spot. And then rounding out the field, we have Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. in the 12th car. And he's our 26th driver. So we got a pretty good field on this tight little 1 mile.
We do, and we had to get that done quick because they are in turn 3 right now, coming to the restart zone. The 28 of Robert Fitzpatrick going to lead them down. Tim Wortman in second spot, into the restart zone, out of the restart zone. Green flag flies, and we are away here at Phoenix.
Oh, Richie Coy is not going. I don't know what happened there. Just completely spreading out the field there. I don't know if he missed a shift or something happened, but he was getting banged and beaten.
Yeah, got quite a mix-up back here behind him for sure. But up front, Robert Fitzpatrick able to jump away and take the lead over Brandon Fetterplace, who now finds himself in second. Hollingsworth in third, Nick Alford in fourth as they come around to complete lap 1.
Yeah, we still got a couple guys even behind them just running too wide now. Tim Wortman, Brian Dixon, Ben Tracy, and Victor Pfluger right now, too, kind of duking it out. Well, no, I'm sorry. It's Ben Tracy and Brian Dixon, and then Tim Wortman and Nick Alford duking it out.
Hollingsworth in the wall there in turn 1.
Yeah.
Going to gather it back up, comes up beside the 33 of Ben Tracy there. Tracy going to get that spot, though.
Oh, man, a lot of action going on pretty early here tonight. I mean, I know this is not going to be a short race like we do see at the end of the year, but it's still somewhat of a short race. 156 laps, not that much for a 1 miler here.
Looking back here at this group back here, Wyatt Hunley right here battling with Mason Hoffner. Right in front of him, the 2 Fury guys, Richie Coy and Jonathan Atkins. Atkins started here. Coy found his way here quickly here on the start.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to go back to see exactly what happened to Richie because he just didn't go. And like I say, I wonder if it might be some hardware issue with the shifter or whatnot.
Let's go back.
I mean, he's going now, though.
Look at this start here and see what happened to the 19 of Coy here. Coming to the green flag. Let's see what happens in this restart zone. launches were fine. Goes for a shift, and it looks like he just, not really sure. Did not go at all.
Wow. Yeah, interesting. And this is wild too, because I've been hearing that there's a lot of shifting going on, within these corners as well. I mean, we noticed that with this next gen car with the 5-speed sequential, that there are way more shifts happening on just about every single track than what we're normally used to from previous generations of cars. So hopefully shifter issues are not going to be anybody's issue tonight.
Yeah, it's a little shifty.
Yeah,
it looked kind of rough there too, and everybody did a good job not to wreck there when he shifted in. There was no gear there. Everybody did a good job to kind of avoid him. I know there was some contact from behind, but who's that in the wall there?
Joshua Gaiman, I just saw kind of tap the wall. He was on Richie's outside right now.
No, I think it was Wortman. Hard in the wall off turn 2. Now we have a caution. Joshua Gaiman, you were just talking about the 61. He comes to a stop in 3 and 4.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I noticed he did tap the wall, but didn't look like he was that bad out of shape. But usually one wall tap, goes for another, and I speak from experience.
Is he having a hard time getting that car turned? No, it turns into turn 1, all right. Let's go back and see what happened to bring out this yellow flag with the 61. 3 and 4. Oh, I see what's going to happen. Contact from behind sends him sliding up to the wall.
Yeah, ouch.
Who's that? Was that Hodge?
I gotta grab out my binoculars in the blimp cam here, but yeah, that is Alexander Hodge that accidentally got in on.
Hodge up the track just a little bit. Just did not anticipate the 53 being up that high from the 61 point of view, and the 61 not able to gather that one up.
Yeah, I mean, Hodge was there entering the corner. Well, I should say he was kind of there entering the corner. I mean, Joshua was already getting passed by the 19 there. Fortunately, though, Joshua did not get too much damage. It looks like he just barely tapped that the back corner of the car.
I think he dove in there trying to fill that gap, and it just washed up the track into the 61.
Yeah.
But you're right. It was a simple tap to the wall there.
Yeah, not too bad. It's still pretty early. I mean, we've got a stage coming at lap 30 anyway, so there's plenty of time to get that thing repaired even if it had a little bit of damage as well. So shouldn't be too bad. All right, but it brings Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. still back to the front, leading this with third place now to the outside. I am going to have some eyes on that 19, make sure he's got that shifter working properly coming around this time.
And to correct there, it's lap 35 for the stage caution, so they got about.
Is it 35?
Yes, 35.
I thought 30.
156 laps tonight. Lap 35 is your caution. For everybody watching along at home, it should be up there on your. Actually, it's probably incorrect. I didn't change it, but it is 35.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're going to get the field bunched up here once again, side by side. Fitzpatrick going to take the inside. He now has Brandon Fetterplace on his outside. Nick Alford in third, Tim Wortman in fourth. Got to watch Wortman, too. He hit that wall off turn 2 pretty hard there right before that caution came out. Chose to stay out there. I just wonder how much that may have hurt his car, and see what happens when he comes to pit road if he has to make some repairs.
Well, yeah, and I'm kind of worried about the tires, too. Like I said, we've heard some complaints from other drivers. It's going to be a little tricky managing the tires tonight. All right, but that's right, though. Pace car comes in real early because we still got another set of corners before they go green. I was looking at the pace car coming in thinking, it's getting close.
Used to go green right back there.
I wish they would put the stupid start-finish line back where it belongs.
I kind of agree with you. But all right, here we come through 3 and 4 now, which used to be 1 and 2. Restart zone, green flag flies. Robert Fitzpatrick leads them away, and we hope everybody makes it through their shifts this time.
Looks like we did. Everybody fanning out, though, too. You got half the group going into that dog leg.
Battles on
man,
for second.
Fitzpatrick got a hell of a jump there. I mean, he's got a great lead right now.
Yeah, battling for second. Fetter Place and Alfred, a couple of teammates. Looks like Alfred's going to give up the ghost here, give it to Fetter Place, who's going to roll it outside line and retake second position. A couple teammates, second, and third. Actually, fourth is a former teammate, the 03 Dixon. He's made some jokes in the offseason about getting fired, but riding right up there with his former teammates.
Yeah, the cool thing about this track too is, I mean, there really is only one good preferred line. You kind of want to be on the inside coming into 3 and 4, but the rest of the track is kind of open game. I mean, you can still see some guys trying to make that pass, even running that outside line in 3 and 4, but it's not as easy to do if you stay low. But man, they're moving.
I don't know if you guys saw what I saw right there at 3 and 4. That was really close between the 84 of Hollingsworth and the 19 of Richie Coy. Richie stuck that nose in there, and Hollingsworth kind of cut it off. And we got somebody sliding behind you. Behind us is Hodge sliding to the inside wall, but he's going to keep it straight, keep it rolling, and we're going to stay green.
Yeah, he lost the pack for sure, but yeah, still green, still green. The biggest issue too is if you're going to have one driver that's going to take that dog leg, and the other guy's going to be up on the track, and you got to make sure you give room for each other, especially if you're running too wide here. You can definitely get pretty well spread out. I mean, we saw yesterday in yesterday's race that they were almost 5 wide at some points in the race, just going through that dog leg. There's just so much room in that area.
Bunch of gaming after that spin, trying to cut back up through the field. Here's Atkins, Jonathan Atkins trying to fight his way through. New paint scheme for the 57 of Atkins. It's Energizer Bunny, I think, on the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember talking about that. Yeah, looks pretty good. I was kind of watching the Ben Tracy. I don't know if it was Stephen Hollingsworth. Yeah, maybe that's who he was racing at that point. And they're still kind of battling back there. Or not Stephen. No, he's got Jonathan Atkins right now. They're just kind of fighting.
Hollingsworth right in front of him, and Atkins behind him. Atkins using that higher lane, trying to get a run off the corner. Tap the wall there.
Yeah. And they're kind of pseudo teammates. They're kind of hanging out together in the same room. So, I got a lot of guys down in the Fury chat right now, just working together. At least you hope they are, right?
Well, define working together, because
they're gonna work together until they don't have to work together.
Yeah. Watching Tim Wortman, Brian Dixon right behind him. Dixon with a good qualifying run here tonight. Started towards the front, running towards the front right now.
Yeah, he's been kind of locked up in that. He's been, started 11th, but once he's gotten up here in the 5th, man, he's been running really good. You got Kevin Ruff behind him as well, that started 15th already up to 6th, and Richie Coy right behind him, still trying to kind of get back what he lost early on.
Yeah, Coy digging out of a hole. Started 4th, back up to 7th right now.
And I'll tell you, as a driver, and it's happened to me too, and I'm sure it's happened to just about everybody out there, but when you reach for that gear and it don't shift, you're like, what happened? Why is it not working? And you're in the heat of the moment, especially on a restart like that. And you're getting banged from behind, and it's very stressful. And a good thing it didn't take out anybody or really screw up anybody.
It can be chaotic for sure. Kevin Ruff trying to find a way around Brian Dixon. Goes to the top side through 3 and 4. Is he going to really roll to the top? No, not quite yet. Everybody's still taking that cut through on the inside of the dog leg as well. You'll probably see that all night. Unlike the real guys, these guys are going to probably utilize that all night.
Yeah, and I almost wonder why the real guys don't do it. And I have a theory it might be just because of the car.
It is.
With that stiff chassis. I know it's very hard to do it in sim, but you got to hit it just right.
It's bad for the tires, from what I understand. Like, you end up cutting a tire down doing it just over and over.
Yeah,
low profile tires,
Well, even just the rigidity of the chassis, it's not very smooth getting in and out of that area, especially in sim. I can't imagine what it would be like in real life, but especially too, we know the guys, they like to run the low air pressures in real life, and the cars are very hunkered down to the ground, and I could just see they would definitely upset the car a bit.
Looking the laps off, 21 laps complete so far. 135 to go, and about 14 to the stage.
And I'm kind of worried about Fitzpatrick out there out front. He had a pretty good lead, but it looks like he's starting to get ran down a little bit. And we know Robert's very good at saving fuel and saving his stuff too as well. So him starting this race out front has kind of got me a little confused here, because usually when you start up front, it's hard to save. And I don't know if he's really doing much saving right now, but maybe he's just trying to keep it out in front. Go to the wall, so to speak. Just to get that stage points tonight, right off the bat. And then we might see a little bit of saving from him later on.
We didn't talk much about the track, but it's kind of a tricky track. Of course, you got the dog leg you have to navigate. Some guys feel like it's more of a jump than it is a cut through at times, especially with this car. But 1 and 2 is 9 degrees of banking. 3 and 4 is 11 degrees of banking. That doesn't sound like a lot. It's really not a lot, but it is a difference through 1 and 2. You got some guys, as close as you set these cars up sometimes, 1 and 2 is better than 3 and 4 or vice versa. I've always had better luck through 3 and 4 than 1 and 2, but not only that, you talk about the radius of the corners as well, because it's different with this dog leg. It kind of opens the corners up a little bit more than, it's not your typical oval. It's not a complete, 180 degree turn. It's a little less than that, which makes the timing of the corners and the passes you try to set up a little bit different.
Yeah, and I'm honestly the opposite. I have more luck in 1 and 2 than I do in 3 and 4, just because 1 and 2 is a little bit more of a consistent corner, where 3 and 4, you have that entry to the dog leg that does kind of screw you up. And I almost think there's a hair more banking once you get up close to that start-finish line as well. It seems like the banking's not very deep, or not really slanted as much when you get down low on the track. Oh, we got a pass for second here.
We got a battle between teammates. Yeah. Alfred gets a good run off turn 2. Gets high Fetterplace, but here comes Fetterplace back on the inside.
Yeah, Brandon's definitely not letting him go. Looks like maybe he's letting him go now.
Yeah, I think he is now.
Well, they're just trying to save a little face, because you got Wortman right behind him ready to pounce.
Well, he's got 2 laps to try to make up that difference between him and Fitzpatrick. I'm not sure it's going to be enough time, but if you remember, our championship race was here before, at the end of the season. The last time these guys were here, Nick Alfred had a really fast car and had an issue coming out of the pits and spun and kind of messed up his run for the championship. I'm sure he's looking for redemption here tonight. And of course, Better Place back there is probably smiling ear to ear thinking about Phoenix last season. That's where he won his championship.
Well, yeah, and like we say though, I mean, he, Nick had a little bit of issues last year. Better Place, I wouldn't say he was gifted the championship, but luck went his way that night pretty good in certain aspects of that race. And but I mean, not to take away anything. I mean, he's still running third right now, still doing a really good job. But it looked like he just couldn't close the door on Fitzpatrick, and maybe he said, "Go ahead, Nick, take a stab at him."
Yeah, Alfred definitely looks a little bit stronger than Fetterplace right now. And actually, Fetterplace starting to get heated up from behind by Tim Wortman over 83. And there's actually 3 or 4 cars right there behind him with Dixon, Kevin Ruff, and Richie Coy all kind of getting stacked up there.
Yeah, with 30 laps on these tires already, we know that the tires are not great. So I'm sure fatigue is starting to set in for some of these guys, and you're going to have to definitely try to figure out how to save a little bit. Right now, though, Fitzpatrick, he's doing everything he needs to do. I mean, and we know the clean air is king as well, so he's using that to his advantage as well. Man, he's just making it look pretty easy right now compared to the rest of the field.
Just watching some of these battles back here. You got J.P. Burns going by Julio Villalobos. You got Mason Hoffner back here with David Duran, and almost 3 wide here with Duran, Wyatt, and Joshua Gaiman. Gaiman trying to rebound from that incident earlier on.
Yeah, they're mixing it up right now. I'm watching Richie Coy. He was taking a look at under Kevin Ruff at that last lap, but kind of stepped back a little bit here. He might want to he's trying to get that one last point. Oh, real close there. They had to let out of it.
Yeah, they're coming to about 3 to go here at the line. 3 laps to the end of the stage. He's trying his best to get around Kevin. And Kevin's probably trying to get around Brian Dixon in front of him. So they're all kind of pushing for that, like you said, the last few points here for the stage.
Yeah, well, stage points really, they do matter towards the end of the season. It's not a win and you're in either. So you gotta maximize as many points as you can. Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. That was Kevin Ruff and Richie Coy both tapped the wall.
Pushing the limits there and pushing a little
That's
too
right.
far.
Richie acting like he never taps the wall. Well, you just seen it.
We have video evidence.
And there he goes. He was able to get around Kevin.
He was kind of a slide job into turn one there. Kind of clears him.
Well, Kevin really cracked the wall hard. Oh, Richie getting a little loose now, too. Kevin really cracked the wall, so I'm sure that kind of discombobulated him for a lap or so, which allowed Richie to kind of get by.
No issues up front, though, as the 28 of Robert Fitzpatrick on the final lap of the stage here. He's got Nick Alford behind him, and Nick was not able to close that gap down. They do look pretty even, though, Tony. They look pretty close to speed there. The 98 and 28, we're going to see a pretty good battle, I think, between those two.
Well, Fitzpatrick ran a 27.3 the last lap, and Alford ran a 27.5. Fetter Place ran a 27.5. So, yeah, they look pretty even, but Nick is still kind of, or not Nick, Robert Fitzpatrick right now is still kind of running really competitive laps.
And there is your stage. Fitzpatrick going to get it done here tonight, get those stage points. 10 important points there for the stage win there. Nick Alford finishing second with Brendan Fetter Place in third, Tim Wortman in fourth. Richie Coy rebounds back up to fifth spot. Only lost one spot from that restart issue. You got Brian Dixon, Kevin Ruff, Ben Tracy, Stephen Hollingsworth, and Lane Allen finishing out the top 10 here for the stage points.
Not a bad showing. And I'll tell you too, that last lap, our top three all ran 27.4s. So they were all within a couple of hundredths of a second from each other.
This just means just track position is going to be even more important for these guys.
Yeah.
And a quick pit stop here is going to get you out front and get you in position to maybe hold on to it.
Now, I'm not sure of the fuel mileage, but I'm assuming that we only have one more stop. If we do stay green for the rest of this race, it should just be one more stop. So green flag pit stops can help or hurt some guys as well. And, yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far so good. We only had that one little caution early on with Joshua Gaiman. And, yeah, let's see. Let's see what these guys can get done for us.
I was told about 98 laps on fuel. Now, you'll probably want tires before then, but...
Probably, yeah. But that means it's a long pit window at least. So I mean, in 98 laps, yeah, they're definitely gonna have to pit. But again, it extends out that pit window pretty long if we do stay green.
All right, I'm sure some of these guys are wanting to see an adjustment on the car here. Race off pit road. Who's gonna get it between Alford and Fitzpatrick?
I believe Fitzpatrick still was able to make it.
He hung on to it just barely as Alfred's going to come home in second spot. The last thing you want, though, is a speed penalty off of pit road as well. That's going to make it even harder. That's one thing that's kind of going to be rough for Joshua Gaiman to come back from with that spin, as he's still trying to fight through traffic, although he's up to 11th coming off pit road. And Victor Pfluger's still sitting on pit road. Maybe get some damage fixed. Does he beat the leaders off pit road? Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it looked tight coming off of pit road, but they score you at the green cone line, and Fitzpatrick actually had a full car length ahead of Nick Alford, so not too bad. That, what do they say? Membership has its privileges. Well, so does that first stall.
Yep, and we pretty much have the same top 10 that we had coming in now lining up on this restart. So everybody did a good job so far there.
Yeah, a couple of spots have changed. It looks like Richie Coy bumped up a spot or two.
He finished in fifth in the stage. So.
Oh, did he? Oh, I thought he was in sixth or seventh. I'm probably wrong.
Well, pace car's off. Been off for a while, but we're going to roll through 3 and 4 here and find this restart zone. Well, there it is, getting ready for the green flag. There it flies. The 28 gets another great restart. And we're racing again here at Phoenix.
Yeah, it looked like Nick Alford had a little trouble going there on the outside line, and here comes Richie Coy to his inside, trying to take that third spot away from him. keeping it airtight.
Got to be careful on these cold tires. They're going to want to spin off the corner there. Everybody hangs on to it pretty good, though.
Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting, too, in the back of the pack here. Just usually it takes a couple laps for these guys to kind of get a little sorted out here. At least strung out, maybe. Here comes Nick Alford trying to get around Brandon Fairplace now. Looks like he's going to get it.
You got a race between the 33 of Tracy and Hollingsworth back there as well. They sort that one out. Here comes Richie Coy looking to the outside of the 34 Fetter Place. A little bit of contact there off the corner.
Well, Richie saw Nick Alford make that outside move done in 1 and 2. It looks like he's going to try it again here. He's like, well, if Nick can do it, so can I.
I almost wonder if Fetter Place is trying to take care of his tires a little bit. Maybe abused his tires a little too much last run. I'm trying to take care of them here a little bit more. But meanwhile, 98 of Alfred's pulled right back on the back bumper of the 28 of Fitzpatrick.
Well, if we stay green right now, this could be the point of the race where you're going to, be on your tires the longest. So it probably wouldn't be a bad option to absolutely save as much as you can when you can.
Here's the 98 of Alfred running that top lane, getting a run off the corners. You can look to the inside. Yes, he is. 28 of Fitzpatrick sees that coming. It's going to he's up the track just a little bit. 28's going to fight back on the outside.
I think the 28's maybe doing that same thing we were just talking about, saving a little bit.
A little contact. He's up the track a little bit.
He might not be saving that much, but I think there's a little save going on here.
I don't know. It might have motivated him a little bit right there. It's like, no, I'm going to make this hard on him.
Well, again, like I say, I mean, if they, they just ran, 35 laps. I mean, they could probably go a good 60 laps here before they would really need to pit. So, I mean, you're definitely going to have to save a little bit here. I just think that would be beneficial. Yeah, wow.
So close. 28 holding him tight on the bottom. Alfred able to stay in that lane.
He was able to make that outside line work. He stayed in there, and
well, didn't the 98 use that outside lane to get by the 34?
He did, yeah.
So it makes me wonder if maybe
I think the outside line is the way to go, especially too maybe on early tires. I don't know. I'm not out there, so
yeah.
And thankfully, I'm not complaining. But they are making it look fun for us. Game is spinning. Yellow's out.
Oh no, Joshua Gaiman again?
Yeah, no help this time.
Nobody to blame?
No. And nobody to hit him. Okay. And he did not hit anything himself. But unfortunately, I don't know if iRacing is going to give him the spot back, but he did fall back in the field quite a bit.
All right, let's go look at our, looks like Jonathan Atkins also had an issue there. Let's get back into our Best One Tire and Auto Care instant replay. Gaiman. Oh, that's not it. That's the stage. Never mind, that's Jonathan Atkins at the stage having an issue. Here's Gaiman off the corner. Turn 4, spins around just right there in front of the 33 Ben Tracy. Just loses it. Doesn't spin all the way around, but does spin a little bit there.
Yeah. I was looking at Jonathan. He's pitting right now, but he was not involved in anything that round. And we do got a couple takers right now. Looks like 18.
Yeah, quite a few back
57,
there towards
53.
The back.
Fitzpatrick Sr.'s in there.
The first guy that stopped that's on pit road is the 84 Hollingsworth. He's the first guy that hit pit road here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Interesting. You think they're getting the top off? I think it'd be too early to get tires.
You say he's taking his top off?
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't think you could do that in NASCAR. I think they frown upon that safety-wise.
It was 71 degrees here in Chicago today. So, I mean, yeah, if I got the window open, I mean.
And I was talking about the top of the car, just so we're clear.
I might take my top off just because I'm getting hot. But, yeah.
Well, he is a big fan of Tim Tim Richmond. That sounds like something Tim Richmond would do. So
He would take his shirt off and wave it around like a helicopter, and throw it to the lucky ladies in the crowd.
Right.
He was the embodiment of the '80s culture, Tim Richmond. Well, '70s and '80s in a way.
Well, caution flash for the second time for incident here. 108, now 107 laps to go here at Phoenix. And we're not in that pit window we were talking about just yet.
No, not even close. And here's the thing that kind of worries me a little bit. So you got the 28 who's been running really good tonight of Rob Fitzpatrick Senior or Junior rather, but then you got Nick Alford who didn't have a great restart, and then you had the 19 who didn't have a great start, and they are both not necessarily side by side, but I wonder if we're going to see any shenanigans.
We're about to find out.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe Nick will get run. If Nick doesn't get going and Richie does, I think Richie's probably going to successfully take over second. But
we've seen Nick use this outside lane, so it would not surprise me here that he's going to try to use this to his advantage. Although Fitzpatrick's going to get a great start here, I'm sure, through the restart zone. Here we go. Green flag flies. Oh no! 28 had an issue on the restart. He is slow.
He was the one that had the bad restart. Wow.
That's going to hand the lead to Nick Alford. Here comes Brendan Fetterplace to the outside. Oh, Nick's going to... Robert's going to cover that off through 1 and 2. Although 34 right on the back bumper of the 28.
Yeah, and it choked up that inside line quite a bit, too. I mean, there were 3 wide back there. I think we still got a little 3 wide action. They're still trying to figure this out back there. Wow, it is a gaggle.
Yeah, 19 had an issue there off the corner. Kevin Ruff going to look to the inside.
And all this time we were worried about the other 2 cars, and it turned out to be the lead car that had that issue. Just to show you, really, anything can happen here.
Really surprised there. He did not get a good start. Kevin able to slot back in behind the 19 at Coy. Was not able to make that pass. Now the 19 looking at the 34 at Fetterplace. And right here, Tim Wortman looking forward to at Cat. Yeah, this all over the track here, especially back here.
Well, Junior, too, he was running really low on the dog leg, definitely trying to kind of get those spots back, or at least try to make a run here on Nick. The sad thing is, though, Nick has got the fresh air right now, so this is the first time really Robert has been in traffic.
Watching Al Hollingsworth back here all over the side of Jonathan Atkins. Hollingsworth trying to get his spots back, and now he's going to make it, I thought, with 3 wide, but they cleared into turn 1.
They got the 18 and the 8 to the outside right now, and they're, they're just, wow. 3 wide with Wayne in the middle there.
Grassy, moved low there. It is a mess back here.
Here comes Joshua Gaiman extremely low. He almost hit the wall coming out of pit road there. He was so low.
Yeah, I've seen a few guys actually flicker on my screen saying they were on pit road. They've cut it so close that my system's thinking that they're on pit road.
He almost was on pit road. I mean, he was so low. Trying to fight with Jonathan Atkins right now. Let's see how low he goes this time around.
Let's see it.
Same way. Not as low, but low enough. I mean, you do get a little bit of advantage going down there. There's an advantage because you're shortening up the track, but there's also the disadvantage because you got to deal with the bumps.
Close. Oh, who is that?
Somebody's hitting the inside
Mason
wall.
Hoffner with issues off turn 2 there. Hits the inside wall, but he does keep rolling. We stay green. I was watching some close racing between Villalobos and Ben Tracy right there.
Yeah, Mason did not hit anybody or anything. Well, he did hit the inside wall. Definitely hurt the car a bit. Just trying to see if, he's still out there. It doesn't look like he's pitting, so the car's probably not too bad.
Tell you what, Nick Alford stabilized out front here in front of Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. in second. Better place in third, but he has got company on his back bumper, the 19 of Coy. Now to the outside in turn 1.
Yeah, Richie's definitely trying to make that outside line stick, though, but better play. Oh, wow.
I just know that feeling coming off the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them, actually. I know being on the outside how tight that is with the car on your inside, and you know he's struggling. And I know how the car on the inside feels trying to get that car turned and stay off the guy on the outside. It's just, it's such a tight corner coming off that corner there.
Yeah. Looks like Richie, though, prevailed, and he's able to get that spot. And we got a little fight behind him, though, too. It looks like Wortman might be wanting to take a little run here at Cabin Rough. He was starting to look like he was taking a look.
You got Joshua Gaiman and Victor Pfluger battling back here. Gaiman gets that spot. Pfluger gave him a little shot going into the corner saying, well, maybe I didn't appreciate you pulling up in front of me like that so much. Which I think they're in the same channel too. So, you know how teammates and guys you're working with, how that goes.
To be a fly in the wall on some of these channels, Al, you know. It'd be nice as the broadcaster to kind of get that little bitty, secret information.
I'm not sure we could broadcast some of it, but, you know.
That's very true.
Watching Hollingsworth here, David Duran in the 51. Up, J.P. Burns right behind him.
All right, so you got to zoom in. Got to grab out the old binoculars, see who Joshua or Jonathan Atkins is racing right now. He was side by side.
Jonathan
No, he
Atkins.
did pass him. It was with the 21 he was next to.
Yeah, Pfluger looking a little bit
That
off
is
the pace
Pfluger,
here
yeah.
tonight. I'm kind of surprised. I expected him to be towards the front with his pseudo teammates, but looks like he's having a little bit of a struggle tonight. Oh, somebody in the wall off the corner there.
Well, Pfluger, if you look at him right now, I mean, he's sitting 16th. He's only 4.5 seconds back off the lead right now. And if like we were saying earlier, you got a lot of laps here, and the tires do burn up. So, I mean, some of these guys that are sitting in the back, I mean, I really wouldn't necessarily count them out as much as some of the guys up front because they could be saving a little bit and saving up that run for a little later.
Ooh, Hollingsworth close with the 14 of, or is that, no, that's Villalobos in front of him, the 45.
Yeah. Elaine is actually playing that right now. Yeah, I'm watching Jonathan Atkins now. He's getting underneath the 51 of David Duran. So Jonathan is starting to slowly come up to the front here. He's just beating, that bunny's beating away. You could almost see him banging on that drum as he's going through the field here.
There's the Hollingsworth going around Villalobos. So he takes that spot from the 45. It'll be 9th spot for the 84, 10th for the 45, but the 45's under fire. This is the gaggle right here right now.
Yeah. It's like he's allowing J.P. Burns to get underneath him right now. It's like J.P.'s probably going to make that pass as well.
Pretty good racing back here.
Yeah.
Just swapping these positions out. And again, I'm not really counting the 21 of Pfluger out as much as I am. I know you stood on pit road there for a while, so maybe you had some damage you had to fix or something. But, who was that that got high right there?
That
45?
was Villalobos, yeah. Obviously, Julio's having a little bit of an issue. Here goes the 14 by him now. And the 51 and the 22, those are pseudo teammates along with the 14, although Lane gets a little loose there.
Yeah, Lane Allen, the 14, get a little loose off the corner of Villalobos right on his back bumper.
Jonathan was in a spot to go 3 wide. I mean, he might make it here 3 wide now. Not exactly 3 wide, but yeah, he makes the dive.
Yeah, they both get clear of Villalobos. 97 side with Lane Allen.
Well, that is one of the good parts of this track. I mean, you definitely can make a little bit of space for yourself in that dog leg. And if you need to have a little bit of room, you just got to be careful when you kind of get back into that turn 1 because everybody wants to be in that same spot on turn 1.
This is the good part for us, but I'm going to tell you as a driver, that can be so frustrating trying to make a pass here. It takes so long to set up a pass. It's hard to pass on the inside because you get loose off the corner and run out of space. It's hard to pass on the outside to roll into the corner fast enough to stay beside the guy. It can be so frustrating trying to make that pass. And once you do, and then the guy crosses you over, and you're like, and you just have to start all over again.
Yep. And yeah, and the crossover effect is very heavy here, especially with the dog leg. I mean, it can easily be done. I mean, even in 3 or 1 and 2, I mean, you got a little bit of gap there. There's a bit of space on this track.
Battle going on with the 34 Fetter Place and the 99 Cabin Rough. They almost ran out of room coming off turn 2. 34 almost closed the door on him. And he had a nose in there, and they survived, but that was close.
Yeah, a little bit of lifting action going on there. But man, Cavan's he's trying to make it work now on the outside. He's not letting up.
Yeah, he's something I need of Alfred to make that work on the 34. He's trying to work that top side as well. You see, he just barely gets there. Now he's going to dive into the corner in 3 and 4.
And that's the one thing with 3 and 4. I mean, you do, if you're on the inside line, you definitely got to brake a little bit harder than you can on the outside line. And it really just depends on how you want to race that corner. There's really many different preferred lines in 3 and 4. Although the bottom line is usually the preferred line. But if you got a car that works on the outside, you can really make that work. And it looks like, Kevin Ruff gets it done there.
He does. He finishes that pass, finally gets that 4th spot from the 34 Brandon Fetterplace. I cringe every time they go into turn 1 because I know how easy it is, especially if you're the car on the bottom, how easy it is to dive into that corner and all of a sudden the car will take off on you up the track. I just know how easy it is to kind of drift up into that car. So I cringe for the guy on the outside every time they go in there side by side.
Yeah, because when you're diving into 1 and 2, I mean, that's really the fastest part of the track, right before
True.
you and you really don't even have to hit the brakes in 1 and 2. You just kind of roll. I mean, in 3, you definitely got to kind of hit the brake a little bit. But 1 and 2, you can kind of get that thing wound up and then just kind of roll it through that corner pretty well. But again, you got to have that car for it.
The tough part about this track is how flat it is and how much brake you use, and it's one of the more technical tracks on the schedule. So if you come in here after a race like 2 super speedway races, of course we have the road course to kind of get used to, but everybody has a little bit different braking point, a little different approach, and then you throw the shifting in there as well. Everybody enters a little bit differently. That's why we see a lot of wrecks here that happen with somebody rolling in a little bit faster than the car in front of them, and they make contact. You know, it's easy to do.
Yeah, and I wonder if you could do a little inboard camera to see exactly how many times these guys really are shifting. I mean, it's obviously probably a 4 to 5 gear change, but I can't imagine anybody's downshifting 2 gears. But some guys, I mean, I'm sure they may even have their car set up for a 3/4 shift, where 4th is their top gear. But I'm sure there's guys out there shifting.
On board with Wortman that lap there, he went from 4th to 5th on the front stretch, and then shifted back to 4th and left it in 4th down the back stretch. So as the tires wear out, you're going to see more and more of those guys doing that. We talked to Richie about that. He's like, I'm shifting twice, I guess 4 times a lap, 4th to 5th on the front and the back. I said, well, as tires wear out, you may not need it on the back, but it just depends on how you have your car set up.
Right. And actually, I mean, now we've gone longer than we have on tires now. I think they're almost at a 40 lap on some of these tires for some of these guys right now.
Yeah, 80 laps to go.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Richie Coy. Richie Coy has caught Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. right now, and he's trying to make a look here. Nick Alford, though, has got a 1.5 second lead over Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick's definitely slowing down a little bit. I mean, again, 40 laps on these tires, almost 40 laps on these tires. I mean, we're going to definitely start seeing some fall-offs here.
Yeah, Alfred looking pretty good. He got that clean air, got out front, and kind of pulled away over the 28 of Fitzpatrick. You're right there. Richie Coy starting to inch in on him, and Kevin Ruff coming on both of those guys.
Yeah, a couple laps ago, Richie was right on his bumper, and I really thought the pass was going to happen then and there. But Richie's playing it smooth right now, just not really pushing the issue. And I'm sure they're all thinking too, like, when are they going to come in? When's the pit's going to happen? And they might be having a little inner dialogue between the teammates out there.
You see how they're offset? They're pretty smart, actually. Richie kind of washed up the track right there, but they're kind of all set entering the corner because Fitzpatrick's going to run the second lane. Richie runs the bottom lane, and then behind him, Kevin Ruff's run that top lane as well. Just trying to get that clean air on the front of the nose. Or trying to make a pass if you're the 99 of Kevin Ruff. He's looked pretty quick, and all of a sudden he's kind of stepped up his pace.
Well, yeah, I mean, compared to 2, look at the gap between him and Fetterplace. I mean, Fetterplace started 3rd. I mean, he was leading this race a little bit. Or no, not leading, but he was running 2nd for a while, and he's definitely starting to fall off a bit here.
Well, you start to see these cars kind of move around too, especially off turn 2, starting to get a little squirmy. But yeah, that 99 right now looks better than the couple of cars in front of him at this point.
Well, the one person I'm looking at right now is at 61 of Joshua Gaiman, and he's definitely made a hell of a rebound right now, running in 7th right now, kind of a little bit behind of that little group we were just talking about, but definitely going forward and making lemonade out of those lemons he was getting earlier today. I mean, he's spun twice and still running top 10 and moving forward as well.
You know, he reminds me of somebody else we watch on Sundays that tends to have some issues that he has to rebound from every week. As a matter of fact, did we see Ryan Blaney have some issues? He had issues in the pits twice he had to come back from.
I believe he did, yeah. You're not going to get me to talk bad about Blaney. He's one of the only guys I actually root for in there.
I didn't start out thinking about Blaney, but then I realized this week it was Blaney rebounding from some issues. There was another car with a couple of 7s on the side of the car.
I knew the car you were talking about, yeah.
That started from the rear and had to come through the field a couple times. He kind of reminds me of. He's fast, he's just like Hocevar. He's fast, but man, if he could just clean up some of his issues, he wouldn't have to rebound every week. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah. I know he's Hocevar, but I always call him Hovercar. Having rough making a move on that 19.
I'll call him Caution Hocevar.
Man, Kevin trying to make it work there. Could not get it done. He kind of let out a little bit there.
Trying to use that bottom, man. It's so tough to complete a pass on the bottom.
The one thing, too, I mean, let's see. Nick Elfer was a second and a half over our leaders. He's only 1.6 seconds over our leaders now, so he's definitely not getting away from the pack. I mean, he's definitely got a good lead, but not really burning the house down right now. And, probably not a bad option, though, yeah.
Kevin's got to the outside. He got to the outside of the 19, was able to use that outside through 1 and 2, makes the pass and completes it. And he sets the size on the 28 of Robert Fitzpatrick.
Well, yeah, if you can't get the inside to work, you might as well go for the outside, and, that's where you got to be.
Seen a lot of passes to the outside tonight. That bodes well for the racing.
Well, too, and don't they have a little extra horsepower in this car compared to the other weeks?
And that is also going to help the outside line a little bit because you're going to be able to roll a little bit faster off these corners.
Yep.
So yeah, Cavan up to 3rd spot, up 12 positions. He's our biggest mover here tonight so far. The 99 got it rolling here tonight. And I'll tell you, I saw a few comments from him. The last couple of weeks have been kind of a struggle for him. He's getting a little frustrated with some of the issues he's had to deal with. Talking about the 99 of Ruff and looking to kind of rebound and get his season back in order here. And this is a good place to do it because, like I said, a lot of the guys look at this as kind of the start of the regular season. And so far so good for him tonight, man. Just needs to close it out. He's had so many issues, got caught up in so much stuff this season early on, just kind of frustrated him. But looking good so far tonight.
So you're saying he's had a rough couple of weeks?
Yeah, you could say that.
Many eye rolls happening probably right now.
Well, let's check chat, see what they think.
Yeah, let's check chat. We got some guys out there. We got Bryson Wilson rooting on Alexander Hodge. He was probably early on. Somebody wants Gaiman for president. Yeah, I don't know about that. Then we got Chad Curran in there. He's laughing at Gaiman for president, I assume, maybe.
Well, I tell you what, he might not be president, but he is up to 6th spot. He just got around Tim Wortman. He's got a fast car. He's another one. We get a caution here and get re-racked. He's going to be a factor here as well.
Well, maybe he wants him, for president because he's good at the spin job.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, he's rebounded.
Yeah.
So, yeah, moving along, though, up to 6th now. He's able to get by Wortman. Going to have Fetter Place on his sights. He's got a little bit of gap there. I assume he's going to get there just because we've been seeing Brandon kind of struggling a little bit here as these laps click on.
Well, you say Brandon's struggling, but really the 19 of Richie Coy's starting to fall off a little bit here. He's gotten passed by the 99 of Kevin Ruff and now falls into the clutches of the 34. Although that will slow both of them down. And you can see the 61 taking advantage of both of them.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, is Fetter Place going to catch Richie before Joshua catches Fetter Place? That'll be the big question.
Oh.
Fitzpatrick Jr. gets a little loose.
He hung on to it. Was there contact between him and the 99, or did he just get loose on the entry of the corner?
That was just, that was he himself and himself.
He probably, He probably wet himself with that.
That was a drift job, and I'll give him a hats off for that one, because we've seen this car. When you get that thing loose like that, it does not recover like that. And the fact that he was able to save it, nobody got into him, I mean, hats off. That was the save of the race right there.
Let's watch this again going into turn one. Gets up the track. Actually, I guess that's not the lap. Let's go lap forward here. See if we can see it this lap. He has the 99 bearing down on him, goes into the corner. Yeah, just back in, just steps out, slide. And a tire, what a save. It's so easy to overcorrect in that situation, but he did not. He just kind of was patient with it. But I will tell you, the tires will not like that.
No, not at all. I'll tell you, somebody else is probably not liking what he's seeing in his mirrors. Richie Coy, Fetter Place is right there on his bumper. He is making a look here on the outside. He might have him here in 1 and 2.
Richie drops way down into the corner there, slides up in front of him. This is
Richie
the crossover.
Threw a Hail Mary.
Here's the 34 looking on his back bumper. Fitzpatrick coming to the pit road. He's had enough.
Well, on lap 95, it's probably not a bad option to come in and pit.
Well, not Fetter Place. Sorry, who am I looking for?
Fitzpatrick.
Well, he's on pit road. We also had Hollingsworth come to pit road as well.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I kind of think we're in that realm. We had 35 laps, so you're 60 laps, and then you got about maybe another 60 laps to go. So we're around halfway here. Oh,
he's
yellow's
for no
out.
Caution, and that is exactly what happens with Victor Pfluger in the 21, slow in turns 1 and 2. Caution flies.
What happened?
Well, let's go find out. Since you asked, Best One Tire and Auto Care Instant Replay going into turn 1. Does the same thing with the 28. Slides into the corner. Unfortunately, he slides all the way sideways, locks it down, comes to a stop, and the caution flies.
Yeah, almost identical to what happened to Fitzpatrick Jr., but he was unable to keep it going. But he didn't hit anything, and nobody hit him, so it does hurt Fitzpatrick Jr. and unfortunately Hollingsworth, but they should get the wave around here.
All right, everybody else going to come to pit road. Nick Alford leads them down.
Actually, as I'm looking at it, Hollingsworth right now, I believe, is the lucky dog. He's the only car to be a lap down, so he probably won't even get the wave around. And Fitzpatrick Jr., Fitzpatrick Jr. actually is a lap down, so he might be getting the wave around, or the lucky dog.
Looks like
I'm not 100% sure, yeah.
Hollingsworth's getting a lucky dog. So Fitzpatrick will have to take the wave around, but he'll be back on the lead lap as well.
Yeah, I think both of them will be all right, but they're just going to have a couple laps of older tires.
We're going to lead them off pit road. Kevin Ruff second, Fetter Place third, Richie Coy in fourth, Joshua Gaiman in fifth.
I'm trying to see who's in front of Fitzpatrick right now. That's the 29 of Derek Katz.
Yes.
And he's 17 laps down, so yeah, he'll also get the wave around this time.
Well,
remember what happened to Derek there.
Tough break for the 28 there with that caution coming out. He's going to have to take that wave around, lose all that track position. That is the only problem about stopping early like that. But his issues, I think, started when he went for that slide 1 and 2. He then got his tires upset, and he had to do something different. He pulled it to pit road, and unfortunately, then the caution come out right there afterwards.
Yeah, well, in his circumstance, I mean, it definitely wasn't a bad strategy to come early. Unfortunately, when you're coming that early and not a lot of other takers, yeah, it does put you in that risk for that yellow to come out, and unfortunately it did. He's still not out of it, though. We've got 50-something laps to go by the time this thing goes green. Yeah, it gives him an opportunity to maybe save a little bit and maybe, bring it up from the rear here.
If I could predict the future, I wouldn't be here right now. I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's so true.
I'd be going getting lottery tickets, what I'm going to be doing. But anyway.
That's right.
All right.
What are you saying? We would have already had our lottery tickets cashed in.
Yeah, pace car is in. Getting ready for the restart. Nick Alford in first. Cabin ref second. Green flag flies. Good start for Alford and his teammate Fetter Place as we take the green.
Yeah, they're a little hot and heavy. We can touch for game.
Somebody hard in the wall back there behind them.
22 getting a little loose. Wow.
No.
Saving it.
Oh, we got another wreck in 3 and 4.
22 saved it. Wow.
I mean, we got a hard hit between Mason Hoffner. Still sitting on pit on the track for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Now he clears up. Derek Cat was involved.
Yeah, Derek Cat was involved as well.
We'll look at that when things settle down. But right now we got a battle for the lead. Nick Alford, Joshua Gaiman, the 61 of Gaiman to the point. And he gets loose off the corner, and there's a gaggle behind him.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it looked like the issue with Mason Hoffner and Derek Cat. Derek Cat obviously getting his wave around. He did not go down into the dog leg, and I believe Mason Hoffner was assuming he was going to go into the dog leg, and they made a little collision there.
Looks like the 61's taking control of this race so far right now.
Well, he's definitely spun his luck around tonight. Spinning twice, leading the race right now, and he's got that clean air, and he's starting to pull away from Nick Alford.
Maybe he needs to. I was just thinking, maybe a roulette paint scheme for the 61.
Maybe, yeah, that might not be a bad paint scheme.
Spinning but lucky.
Well, the only thing too, and we've said this on other broadcasts, and we'll say it again tonight. The only person that's going to beat you now is yourself. Everybody should have enough gas, so you just got to get it to the end of this. And, we did kind of see him get a little stagnant, though, towards the end of that last run. He was able to kind of work his way through the field, but he wasn't able to kind of even get up to Fetter Place or Richie Coy. I mean, obviously he had a great pit and made good roads on that restart, but it's just how long he can stay up there, because here comes Nick, man. Nick doesn't want to let him get too far away, it looks like.
Well, I tell you, the 61, though, was still one of the cars that was still moving forward, even on old tires. So he's got a good long-run car as well. You put him out front early on, he might be hard to handle here. I know Nick Alford was really good on the long run as well, so he might be able to stay with him. But right now, the 98 is about him and the 61 are kind of pulling away.
Yeah. I'm reading chat right now. We got Joshua Gaiman's the car painter. He's like, don't give him any ideas. Roulette wheels, tops. I'm just trying to think of things that spin.
I mean, we are going to Vegas next week, so,
Yeah, there you go. That would be kind of on point, to be honest.
It would be. And I could think of several ways that would look good, but, I'll refrain. Let's go back and look at that wreck that happened in the dogleg there on the restart with Derek Cat and Mason Hoffman. Let's see what happened here. Watching Derek Cat right here. Oh man.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think Mason or Derek just didn't dive into the dogleg, and it looked like Mason thought he probably would have. He made the contact.
Another view of it here. Yeah, he didn't go to the dog leg. Well, he had a car under, didn't he? He had a car under him, did he?
No, I think because they were at the back of the pack, because he just got his wave around.
Yeah, but I think
I don't remember.
The lucky dog Stephen Hollingsworth was in the vicinity.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm watching it on the replay here, so I'm a little behind.
Let's watch this view.
Well, yeah, Fitzpatrick Jr. was passing him at that time.
Okay, yeah, it's the 28. All right, so the 28, right. They get going green here. Yeah, 28 goes low, so Mason was giving him room, and unfortunately, they just ran out of room. That was a big hit for both of those guys.
Yeah, unfortunate for Mason.
Well, we got Nick Alfred starting to track down our leader here, the 61 of Gaiman.
Oh, and Joshua got real loose there. It's going to bring Nick to make this pass here. He's right there.
Right on the back bumper of the 61 as they enter turn 1.
Yeah, Joshua got really loose coming out of 2 there. I believe he even tapped the wall a little bit.
98 looking low into the turn 3. He's going to stick it in there. Side by side battle for the lead. 98 of Alfred on the bottom, the 61 of Gaiman on the top. Alfred going to cut that dog leg. The 61 going to stay high.
And that's where the dog leg is going to help you. It's going to give you that shorter way around. If you got a car that can work down there, it doesn't give you too upset. Keep that momentum going. But while this is happening, I mean, our 3rd, 4th, and 5th place, they're slowly starting to inch into this group of 2 here.
They're probably licking their lips at this point because right now Alfred, Alfred jumped out to a lead there early on. So they're looking at this like, okay, well, just keep him in the vicinity so that we can have something for him here on the long run.
Well, yeah, they're probably happy that Joshua got out in front, though, because it did prevent Nick from kind of getting a little bit out in front, a little bit too much of a lead here. So they're kind of holding Nick. Joshua's holding Nick at bay right now, but I don't know. Nick does not want to be. Yeah.
Nick trying to use that bottom, trying to get underneath the 61. 61 just gets such a good launch off the corner. He can't stay there.
Like I said, clean air in the outside line is definitely helping Joshua right now.
All right, there goes Nick to the top, trying to get that run off the corner.
Yeah, he's going to have to jive to try to get to Joshua's outsides if he wants to make this move here. Because, yeah, Joshua's just way too strong on the outside right now, especially coming out of 2.
Here he goes
or
to the
3
inside.
or 4.
But the 61, he just launches off turn 4 there pretty good. And you're right, it's bringing everybody to him behind him. Oh, Nick Alfred up the track just a little bit. Maybe losing a little bit of patience with the 61 side by side off turn 2.
Yeah, they're going to be door to door coming into 3 here. Wow. Nick gets the dive there, but let's see if Joshua can pull out. No, Nick shuts the door on him.
Yep, so Nick Alfred going to retake this lead on lap
114.
114.
At least he tried for it.
He goes to the top. Here comes the 61 under him.
Well, if I was Federer Place, Kevin Ruff or Richie Coy or even Wortman behind him that are still kind of in that vicinity, even Jonathan Atkins kind of snuck back up into 7th place right now. You got a good group of guys here. They're just watching this battle, and they're thinking, you guys are just eating up your tires. And we're just going to chill out here and wait for it to happen.
All right, well, Alfred takes the lead here. He's got a little bit of a buffer to the 61 of Gaiman now. As I say, that Gaiman kind of drives in the corner but cannot get there.
Man, I'll tell you, I got to kind of go through the field, but these guys are making it really interesting up front here. See what else is going on. I mean, everybody right now is pretty much single file for the most part. Got a little bit of action going on with Fitzpatrick Jr. He's actually kind of worked his way up to 14th now after all that incident and getting the wave around. So yeah, we definitely got to keep an eye on Robert there.
Leading the pack back there. You got Ryan Huff right behind him in the 93. And David Durand.
Yeah, we know Robert's really good at saving his stuff, but unfortunately, I don't think he can really save too much right now. He's got to go forward.
Well, we're running out of laps really quickly here. 39 laps left.
Say,
yeah.
Yeah, with a 1 mile track like this, and especially if it stays green, there is these laps are going to start clicking off quick. And so is the rubber on that tire as well. So there's a whole lot of anticipation and anxiousness going on with some of these guys, I'm sure.
You got 2 of the faster cars up front, I think. The 90 of Alfred, 61 of Gaiman. I would say the 99 of Kevin Ruff may be the 3rd quickest car of what we've seen so far tonight. Although, I mean, throw Fitzpatrick in there as well, but unfortunately he's mired in traffic. Those cars have kind of been the class of the field, those 4 anyway. Federer Place has been right in there. He's doing Federer Place things. He's just being consistently in the mix here, doing exactly what he needs to do for points. And runs towards the top 5. With that win last week, he can kind of relax a little bit here and just grab some points. I know he wants to win again, go back to back, but with that win, he's grabbed quite a bit of points last week.
Well, he's had a struggling first round or first stage, second stage, right? I don't even say stage, but the race so far has been kind of broken up into 3 areas because of cautions, and all he's got to do is just kind of maintain out there in third. Even if he can stay in the top 5 tonight, to me, it's considered a win. Yeah, I mean, he's still up there in points, and he got decent stage points as well. So he's still not having a horrible night there, third place.
I'm just kind of curious.
He may have learned a thing or two in those first couple stages with the way his car's been operating. He might just be relaxing out there a little bit too, saving a bit.
Curious to see what these guys have to deal with here on the end of this long run. We started seeing the cars kind of dance around on that last long run. We'll probably see that again here towards the end of this run, towards the end of the race. And we'll see who's made some adjustments for that, who struggles, who's kind of figured that out.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. I mean, we haven't had a lot of cautions, but we've had some cautions where guys could they got an idea what their car's going to do on the long run for sure, and maybe some guys have made some adjustments and maybe even changed their little race style a little bit to kind of maximize be there at the end. But I'll tell you, I mean, our top 5, really our top 6 right now, they're kind of in their own little umbrella, and I mean, Nick's showing some good speed right now, but really he hasn't quite pulled away like we've seen early on.
Oh,
I almost wonder, if the game got a little loose there.
Did he get the wall a little bit?
I don't think so, but yeah, it might have been a little loose tightness issue because the car was wiggling a little bit there.
He's pushing hard. He sees that wind right out the front window. You see a wiggle there too.
Yeah, I think the two of them battled so hard early on there. I think it may have short-lived their tires too. So yeah, it's going to be interesting if we do stay green for the next 30-something laps here. See how well it goes. Man, yeah, he's getting way too high out in 1 and 2.
Well, he's running an interesting line. That's kind of a line that I've run actually that line before in the Xfinity car. You can run right up against the wall here. And if you can run that just right and get the car slowed down, you can get that really straight run off the corner, and you can carry a lot of speed off the corner.
Yeah, and actually, I think it's kind of what I did see that last lap. Yeah, he's losing it on entry to Fetter Place.
Yeah,
but,
he will.
And yeah, you can see it right here, but then
he's
he
going to
really
cut
gets
it down,
that launch.
Straighten it up off the corner. Didn't get quite as far down as the bottom lane, but sometimes you don't want to do that. That bottom lane can be a little slick, so if you can straighten that up and stay in the second lane, you can make that work as well. So I mean, he's at least maintaining in second spot doing that. So like I said, it's a lane I've run before, and you can definitely make that work. But it also can be kind of hard on the tires. That's the other thing about that. You can do that, but you put a lot of stress on the tires, turning that car down to the bottom from the top of the track.
Well, yeah, he didn't get that high that last lap, and here comes Fetter Place now. Fetter Place has kind of caught him a little bit. And yeah, you got to worry too when you're running that high line like that. You don't want to hit my favorite part of the track, the wall. He's running that low line, maybe trying to cool off the tire a little bit here too. Yeah, he's searching for speed out there. You can totally see that.
And he's not losing big chunks to Nick either. Just kind of moving around, trying some different stuff. If you can ever find something, you definitely want to try to hit that and that's the hard part, at least for me, is consistently hitting something. Once you find something, consistently doing that every lap.
Yeah, and if you watch Nick too, Nick is kind of running a very consistent line.
In a battle between the 99 and the 19. Surprising, I thought the 99 would go forward, but he's fallen back to the 19 of Coy. Coy on the inside, Kevin Ruff on the outside.
We've seen this before, but I think Kevin's going to kind of beat him just because he's on that outside line here.
And he does. I think he's going to clear him here going into turn 1, and he definitely does. I swear.
You have to try to get that outside line work if he really wants it to happen here.
I see that 61 using a top lane every time entering turn 1, thinking there's something wrong.
Right, yeah.
Then Tracy with a moment off turn 2 hangs on to it. But his tires are going to be upset about that.
He's definitely looking a little off pace right now.
You want to take a moment just to try to cool those tires down. They're mad. They're going to be sliding on the ground and everything. You don't want to make your life worse here.
And he's got Victor Fluger right behind him too. He's not really having the night that we were kind of assuming he was going to have tonight, and it might be because of some damage here. But he's going to probably run down Ben Tracy here in a little while.
Yeah, Fluger was having a decent run at Coda last week. Unfortunately, it was contact with our leader right now, Nick Alford. It kind of put a dent in his night at Coda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of action going on right there. You got Victor Villalobos Jr., and then you got Fitzpatrick, who's kind of gained one spot, but he's kind of all over Victor's bumper right now, trying to get by. Obviously, Robert leading a lot of the laps early on here, just trying to get back to that number 1 spot. Trying to get back into the top 10, really, right now.
Yeah, been a pretty quiet night for some of these guys in the top 10. You got Dixon up there still in the top 10, 9th spot, having a good solid night. Atkins has worked his way into the top 10 here. J.P. Burns in the top 10 pretty much most of the night in 18. Of course, Tim Mortman right there. Back half of the top 10, man. There's some guys that kind of having a good, solid, quiet night, a good points night, which is what you want to have at a track like this. It can bite you real quick.
Yeah, well, even Alexander Hodge sitting in a solid 10th right now as well. So
things are starting to heat up for second, though. Joshua Gaiman searching around the track. It's allowed the 34 Fetter Place to close right in on the back bumper of him. Calvin Ruff right there as well with the 19 Richie Coy. They're all kind of under a blanket second through 5th right there.
Yeah, we're going to battle we got 4 cars in a battle for second place right now. It's going to seem one little slip by any of them, and it's going to change something dramatic. And we're almost 2 by 2 for that spot back there. Wow.
That bottom lane that's going to be a tough pass to make for the 34 Fetter Place, but was it the 61 game? And like I said, he cooked his tires trying to use that top lane.
I think it was a combo. It might have been that top lane, and it could have just been that early battle with Nick Alford as well. I mean, there's just there's only so much you could do with the tire, and you really just got to kind of save as much as you can here.
You see, he's back to the bottom there in that defensive posture. Although he still looks like he's getting a little loose off the corner.
Well, we've seen him loose a couple times. So one not 100% his fault, but the other one maybe. Oh yeah. Getting a little loose there. Here comes Fetter Place.
I was going to say
and Rough.
Are we going to go 3 wide here?
We are 3 wide.
3 wide for second place. Down to 19. And Coy wants a piece of it. Look at the inside of those guys. They're going to settle it back to 2 here coming off the corner. 34 Fetter Place is going to take that second spot, though. Now the battle is between the 99 of Ruff and Gaiman. Not much of a battle. Here comes the 19 of Coy. Contact with the 61 of Joshua Gaiman up into the wall.
Yeah, Joshua hit the wall hard.
And that one is definitely not on him. He's still rolling, but the 61 out of contention here tonight. It's going to bring it down to pit road.
Yeah, he's definitely he's hobbling around the track right now.
Let's go back a lap before and look at that contact.
I got to see. I'd assume he's got major right front damage there.
So I'm over with the 19 of Coy going to the corner. Coy dives to the inside of the 61, maybe touches the apron a little bit. He holds him tight, but yeah, it's 2-1 doesn't go.
No. Yeah, and unfortunately, Joshua's got major right front damage in his car. Toe link, the whole right front is bashed in, and the wheel is not turning. It's just kind of dangling there. His night is over. Unfortunate night for him tonight. He's had some issues, but man, he had a hell of a run getting back up front, led some laps. I'll have it in.
Yeah, I know we gave him some grief about spinning out himself. But that one there, I can't say that's really. I mean, he was holding the 19 tight, but just a little too tight, and the contact happened there. I'm sure those guys would have.
That was tough racing going
afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, that definitely wasn't just. Regardless, it wasn't just the 61 at that point.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. Puts Kevin Ruff in the third. Here's Richie Coy trying to fight him for that.
And Tim Wortman just kind of lurking in behind him. He's sitting in fifth right now. Obviously, everybody kind of gained a spot at that point. But yeah, he's just kind of chilling back there. Again, Mr. Consistency, Mr. Wortman. So just chilling back there. He knows he's good in the points, and he'll take his fifth if he can get it. They're under no pressure though. I'll tell you, from sixth on and back.
These guys are starting to slip and slide around here. I'm watching the battle between the 99 of Ruff and Coy, and you can tell that both those guys are trying to get every bit they can out of these cars.
Well, I'm assuming too, Richie might have a little bit of damage from that incident as well, so that might be hurting him.
I think he barely touched. I don't know.
I got to zoom in on the car. He might have a little bit.
He crushed his can just a little bit. I don't think.
No, he's all right. He definitely wasn't the short end of the stick in that incident. Let's put it that way.
That was all right with 61. He's actually, I think, he's called it a night, I guess. Nick Alfred out front, pretty big lead, 1.5 seconds over his teammate, the 34 Brendan Fetterplace, running in second. And now the battle is on for third, 19 and 99. As the 19 of Coy finally gets to the inside of the 99 of Kevin Ruff. No, he doesn't. Never mind.
Well, he did, but yeah, he couldn't make it work there. And I'll tell you, earlier on you were talking about Nick Alford with his redemption run tonight, and if he ain't doing a redemption run tonight, I don't know what you'd call it. But yeah, he's gotten out front, has not even bothered to look back, doesn't even need to look back. He has really not had anybody on his tail all night.
And Tony, we talked about counting down the laps. They're going to come around to 10 laps to go here at Phoenix. We are getting down to it. Not much of a battle up front for first and second, but this battle for third continues to rage on between the 99 of Ruff and the 19 of Coy. And I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you. I thought that the 99 of Coy, or 99 of Ruff would kind of just pull away from this 19 of Coy, but Richie's stayed with him so far.
Yeah, they've all been kind of hanging out there. I mean, Fetterplace obviously has gotten a little bit of a length on that grouping there once he kind of got past these guys. But yeah, I mean, I think Richie's playing maybe a little apprehensive right now just after the incident with the 61 there. So, I mean, I know he definitely wants that third place from Kevin Ruff, but he's going to have to be a little ginger if he could try to get there. He's going to have to get out of his comfort zone, I think. He's going to have to try to get to Kevin's outside to make it work. But I don't think Kevin's going to let him have it.
Well, I got to tell you, that guy up front, he's looking for this Victory Fuel 4-pack he's going to get if he wins this race. Remember, go to drinkvictory.com, use code FTSR for 10% off your order. Victory Fuel is a proud sponsor of the Victory Fuel Cup Series. And if you win these races, Tony, a race win gets you a free 4-pack of Victory Fuel. So you definitely want to get out there and try to get that win right now. 19 is up underneath the 99. This is close here.
He's definitely still trying to make that happen. Again, I'm sure Richie can hear me. You got to make that outside line work. You got to get on. You got to get on that outside if you want to make this pass. You ain't gonna do it low. I'll be surprised if you can make it low.
Kevin's really working that outside lane to perfection right now. He's really not got any option. The 99 is actually taking the outside lane away.
Yep. And that's smart on Kevin's run there.
And he's doing a good job. Is 19 going to hang there? Is he going to be there? Yes, he is. Into turn 3. 19 drives off into the corner. 99 holds him tight there, rolls that outside lane, gets the run off the corner.
And Kevin just barely squeezed by him at the line there. But hey, that's all you need to place ahead of him. And we're getting really close. We're down to 5 laps here.
Yeah, Coy touched the apron there off the corner or into the corner there, kind of upset his car a little bit, and that's going to cost him off the corner as 99 Ruff is going to pull ahead. He's going to reset here. Looks like the 99 is willing to get that 19 the inside lane. He knows, or at least he thinks, that the 19 is not going to be able to make that pass on the bottom.
No, and I feel like every time Richie tries to get down low underneath Kevin, I think it's hurting Richie even more. I think he's just burning up stuff lap after lap here.
Is he there? Yeah, he's going to duck inside there, the 99. Oh, he's up the track, just a little bit of contact. 99 has a run off the corner, though.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 laps to go. We're watching this, but you're not missing anything up front. Nick Alford, like you said, that redemption tour is working out for him right now. Here comes the 19. Does he inch ahead? No, 99. Oh, 99 in the wall a little bit off the corner.
Uh-oh. And they're still door to door. I mean, Richie's definitely diving into 3 really deep, just trying to get that. Oh, more contact. Richie to get the nose, though, on that lap.
They're leaning on each other here. Great
racing
really here for 3rd spot. 19's going to clear here, is he? He does.
Yeah. Richie wanted to make that inside line work just so he can rub it in my face later. I'm sure that's what it was.
Loose off the corner right there, though. 2 laps remaining. Here comes the 99. He's got to run. Where does he go? Top side.
Look at that arc he's getting. He got a little tight there, man. He had a lift out of it.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to settle that. We'll shift back up front. Nick Alford coming through 3 and 4. Going to see the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Phoenix.
Yeah, they were just going to buy a lap car, Stephen Hollingsworth there.
After a rough start to the season, Nick Alford getting collected in some issues from Daytona to Atlanta, Dakota. He comes here for redemption, not only for this season, but for last season, the last race of the season, having some issues, losing the championship after leading so many laps. Well, he's going to do it tonight. He's going to turn things around and get that win. The first win of 2026A for Nick Alford comes here at Phoenix.
Vengeance is mine, he says, as he crosses that start-finish line.
Richie Coy hangs on to 3rd, Kevin Ruff 4th. JP Burns comes home with a solid 5th place finish. He gets around Tim Wharton there towards the end. We missed that one.
Yeah, we sure did. I'm going to have to rewind a little bit and see exactly what happened there. Oh, I believe Tim Wharton, he cracked the wall kind of hard right by the start-finish line. Or no, maybe not cracked the wall, but he got real loose.
We'll see if I can find that as well.
Yeah, that was on lap 155. That happened right when he was crossing the line. He just got extra loose. Yeah, I don't think there was any wall contact. Just killed his momentum. You know, we always say that dogleg area, that is the fastest part of the track, but if you screw up the exit of 4, I mean, it definitely hurts your run down the lane.
Had some issues. Yeah, and just JP Burns goes right around him there. He drops off in the corner, but able to get to run off the corner. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but all that happening behind our winner, though, tonight. Nick Alford, get it done here at Phoenix. Like I said, it's got to feel good to come back here and kind of cap things off after the way things went at the end of last season. I'm sure we're going to talk to him. I'm sure that he's going to bring that up and be able to kind of celebrate and get some vindication tonight here at Phoenix Raceway. Your winner for the Phoenix 250, Nick Alford.
Yeah, what a drive tonight. I mean, once he got out front, I mean, it was hard really even trying to catch him. And I said it earlier, vengeance is mine. He just wished this would have happened back in November, but hey, he got it done. Does this mean we got to look out for him this November? Maybe so.
I think so. He's going to be a contender this season as well. Let's look at our results here for the Phoenix 250. For the Victory Fuel Cup Series, it's going to be Nick Alford taking home the win here tonight. Brandon Fetterplace finishing up in 2nd spot. A teammate 1-2. I'm sure they're going to celebrate with that as well over at Hot Lap Heroes. 3rd place for Richie Coy. He finally gets that battle over the 99 to Kevin Ruff, and I'm sure they're laughing about that, man. They're good friends, and that was a hard-fought battle, but a very clean one for sure. Kevin Ruff, like I said, in 4th spot. You got JP Burns back there in 5th. Another great run by that 18 car for Elevated Esports. They've kind of pulled their resources together and only running a few cars, and that 18 of JP, he's performed well so far this season. You got the 83 of Tim Wortman Jr., a factor all night inside the top 10, just slips just outside the top 5, but another solid finish for him. Alexander Hodge, where did he come from? 7th spot. Yeah, right. He had some issues too. Went to the back, comes back towards the front. Another solid run for that 53. So 7th spot for him. 8th spot for Jonathan Atkins. Again, he's another one. Ran outside the top 10 a lot of the night. Comes back into the top 10 and now a solid finish for him. Brian Dixon in 9th spot. Again, he ran top 10, I think, all night. And comes home with the top 10 finish. And then Lane Allen in the 10th spot in the number 14 gets it done in 10th place. The 21 Victor Fluger, we talked about him we thought he'd be a factor all night. Well, he does come up just one spot short of the top 10, finishes in 11th spot. 12th spot goes to the 28 Fitzpatrick Jr. Again, that untimely caution kind of undid his night right there, unfortunately. 13th for the 45 of Julio Villalobos, and 14th spot for the 33 of Ben Tracy.
All right, finishing 15th, you had Wyatt Hunley in the 22. Then Brian Bliss, car 8 and 16th spot. David Durant, car 51, he finished 17th. Casey McMullen finished 18th in car 72. Wayne Grassi, car 7, he finished 19th. Then you had Fitzpatrick Sr., he finished 20th in the car 12. Stephen Hollingsworth, we've seen him get the lap down just at the end there, 21st spot. Ryan Huff, 22nd spot. Joshua Gaiman, unfortunately, had some incidents later on, 23rd. Mason Hoffner, we saw him after that restart, unfortunately having some issues as well, 24th. Derek Cat, 25th. And then James Torrey, 26th. I don't think James ran too many laps today. He was having a rough night. But, yeah, it was a pretty exciting race there. I mean, some good strategies, good lines. Couple of little bumps and bangs that probably were not needed, but yeah, it was a fun race. Nick got it done at the end there.
Yep, solid run tonight. Nick Alford getting it done here in Victory Lane. When we come back, we'll talk to our top 3 finishers, see what they have to say about tonight's exciting event here at Phoenix, their 4th race of the season. We'll do all that on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are Best One.
The best tires.
The best customer service.
The best automotive service.
The best team.
And the best customers. You see, Best One isn't just our name, it's who we are. Since 1948, Best One has been delivering quality and dependable tires and full-service automotive care to our customers. Best One, selling tires, serving people. We are Best One.
Back here at Phoenix Raceway, finishing up the Phoenix 250 for the Victory Fuel Cup Series here on Full Throttle Television, where Nick Alford has taken the checkered flag. We're going to kick it over to our post-race show presented by Victory Fuel. Remember, get a drink Victory. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. Victory Fuel, proud sponsor of the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Let's talk to our third place finisher. Boy, do I have some things to ask him about tonight. Let's pull him up here. Our third place finisher, the 19 of Richie Coy, 19, what did I say? Third place. Congratulations, man. It wasn't without some controversy, though, out there.
There was controversy? I didn't see anything. I'm just driving with my head down, dude.
Man, it was a grab and claw kind of night. This seemed like for you for sure. It started from the green flag, whatever. And I want to ask you about that. Like, what happened there? What caused the issue there on the start?
Well, I was yelling and screaming at my shifter because you know how much I love to shift these cars. But as it turns out, I finally figured out that I was using the wrong damn shifter. I got the paddle shifter and I got the whatchamacallit shifter. And yeah, I'm shifting it in the third and it's not going in the third. And then finally I'm like, oh shit, wrong shifter.
So,
Oh, sorry about that.
so
I got excited.
So
he was reaching for the wrong stick. It sounds like.
Yeah. So
yeah, basically.
You like shifted so much that you got two ways to do it. I understand. Well, once that all cleared up, you went towards the back. You clawed back up to the top 10 for a good finish for the stage. Had the pit stop, racing along there, and you and the 99 had a great battle at the end. But before I get to that, there was contact between the 61 there towards the end before you got to the 99. What was your perspective of what kind of happened right there?
Yeah, I think the 61 had started to use up his tires, and then for 34 and the 99 got under him, down into one, and I was following the 99 going down into three. The 61 was already kind of outside the 99 going in, so I figured he would commit to the outside. So I went down in the corner, even hit the apron a little bit, was lower than the 99, and the 61 we touched. He mentioned something I heard that Spotter never said anything about somebody inside, but yeah, I hate it for him. Hate it that it ruined his race. I hate it for Jonathan for the beginning of the race getting in the back of me, but I got karma back on that one restart when Junior didn't go in front of me. He started in third gear instead of second.
Yeah, it was an up and down night. We'll call it that. An up and down night for sure for the 19 Akoi. Man, but yeah, the battle at the end, you and the 99, man, it seemed like it was so hard to pass on the inside. He was rolling the outside so well. You could get there, but off the corner, it just seemed like it was so hard to stay there down into the next corner to be able to try to race on forward to try to gain that spot.
Yeah, it's so hard to pass when the cars are this close together in speed. And what I was trying to do was get close enough in 3 and 4 to get the run out of 4, but I kept getting sideways. And what I was trying to do is get that run out of 4 to be able to get in and alongside of him further than I was into 1 and 2, so that we could run down the backstretch side by side and then do the same thing. But yeah, great race. Kudos to Kevin. Heck of a battle there. We were fortunate to come out on top, come up here, talk to you guys, and yeah.
Well, listen, those guys up front, they were really quick tonight, but again, a solid run for you, third place. I know coming in, you weren't too thrilled or you weren't expecting too much, I guess, tonight, but a third place finish is going to do a lot to kind of maintain that points lead. Just a solid finish. Again, points racing towards the end of the season, it matters. So I guess you got to be pretty happy with third, though, considering the shape you were kind of coming in here.
Yeah, I mean, you're in practice. You don't know exactly what you got, and I was just like, I just don't know if it's got it. But I think we had enough to even maybe win tonight if the brakes went on the racetrack the right way. But yeah, we'll take a third for absolute sure. Maintain the points lead. I think this is our 4th different winner this season in Cup Series. So as long as nobody else is compounding those 15-point races, we're good.
Well, I think you have to deal with that 34 in front of you, and probably Nick too, and the 28. You got a few contenders out there that we got to watch. So we'll see how it goes throughout the season, man. But congratulations, third place finish. I'm going to throw it to you, let you do your shout outs and your sponsor plugs.
Got to say, shout out to Fury Motorsports. I got to shout out to all my guys. They had various degrees of success tonight all throughout the field, but thanks for those guys. Thanks for the league. I'm fairly certain that it was a pretty decent race. We'll watch it back, but overall, I think it was a good race. We had some long runs there. Thanks to you guys in the booth. Shout out to Tony's mom and dad for watching, and shout out to Victory Fuel, Icon Apparel, and Phoenix PC for being on the car again this year.
All right. Well, there's your third place finisher tonight. Richie Coy, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Las Vegas. All right, Tony, I believe you're standing by with our second place finisher, the 34, Brandon Fetterplace.
Yep, sitting here with Brandon Fetterplace. He wins last week, second this week. Another great points night for you. Man, you had a pretty rough night tonight too. You were leading up front, or not really leading, but you've been running up the front top three for a little while. Looked like you had a little bit of issue early on too, as far as maybe trying to keep the car under you. But I'll tell you, by the last round of after the last round of pit stops, it looks like you got that thing pretty much dialed in, huh?
Yeah, I struggled here all week. Struggled in officials, struggled in practice. I just can't. The setup's good. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. I need to, talk to Nick, I guess, and figure out what I'm missing. But yeah, the last adjustment there, I just pretty much just threw everything I could think of at it, and it seemed to work.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, it did. Like I say, I mean, you were kind of falling back, in the middle of the race here and there. We were wondering if it was a little bit short lived. We thought maybe you were even saving a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't the wind you had last week. I mean, it kind of flipped positions for you and your teammate Nick this year. Nick got his redemption this time around, but
Yeah,
man,
you
you still
did.
had a hell of a car, man, and there was some good competition out there too, especially with Gaming up front and. Kevin Ruff was duking it out. You had Richie Coy around you all night too, as well. I mean, you just looked like you did find some speed there towards the end. I mean, how much were you shifting? How much were you really enjoying your drive out there? I mean,
Well, I like this track. I have a lot of good luck at Phoenix. It's not as fun when you have an ill handling race car. It just doesn't matter. It didn't seem to matter what I did with the brake bias, with the tire pressures, with whatever it is. The car just did not like whatever I was trying to do with it. So I was happy to see Kevin and Richie start battling behind me. I knew that might give me a little bit of breathing room. Um, I just didn't have the overall speed. I started right before the last caution. It seemed that all those guys were running really hard and burning up their stuff. So it looked like I had a little bit of long run pace, but um, if it wasn't for them making a mistake, or burning up their stuff, it was just so hard to pass out here. So I'm extremely grateful and happy that I was able to pull out a P2.
well, yeah, no, I mean, you did. You had a really good looking car though for the most part. I mean, as far as you didn't look like you were getting too loose or out of shape. We saw a lot of that from a lot of the other cars as well. And I mean, the car looked pretty strong. It just looked like it did fall off, but obviously, yeah, like you say, I think a little help maybe from some of the other guys as well. But I mean. I don't know. Second place is still not a bad place to be, especially
That's right.
especially in the points and whatnot. And I don't know. You looking forward to next week? We're going to Vegas.
We did some early practice there, and I don't know. I need to put some time in at that track. I think some of the later updates, and we're getting ready to have another update. So I think they've kind of thrown me off my mile and a half game. But like I said, we'll put some time in and see if we can't get it feeling any better.
Well, it's definitely gonna be the first true mile and a half of the season. So yeah, it sounds like you're about ready to. I hate to use the pun, roll the dice, but
Yeah.
all right, man. Well, again, congrats on the second. The floor is yours.
I appreciate you. Thanks first and foremost to Hot Lap Heroes. Congratulations to Nick, my teammate. That's an awesome win for him. I'm really happy for him. Thanks to Premier Setup Shop for all their fast setups, even if I don't know how to drive them all the time. Thanks to y'all for the broadcast, to all the admins, all the league sponsors, everyone who makes this happen every week, and of course everyone who watches. So we'll go get them in Vegas.
All right, man. Well, again, congrats on the second. I know it's good for points, and yeah, we'll see you next week in Vegas.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Brody. I believe you're with our winner there, Mr. Nick Elford.
Yeah, I'm down here in Victory Lane with Nick Alfred. Nick, this has got to be a little redemption, a little.
A little bit. Just a
Yeah,
little.
that's why I'm thinking. I was watching tonight. I was like, man, he has come out guns blazing, ready to make a statement. And man, it's got to be good to get that off your chest here, kind of reset, being able to retake that crown here at Phoenix, and again, like I said, with a win, make a statement and put yourself towards the top of the points.
Yeah. Last week it kind of deflated me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I downshifted way too early into one and just blew my engine. But yeah, tonight was a good night all around for me and Brandon. good points all around. We had a flawless night. It was just very, very lackluster. Really, it was kind of boring, but we had fun.
It did seem very straightforward for you guys. You guys came in here prepared. You started up front. You stayed up front through pit stops, through everything else that happened, through restarts. Everything seemed to go really well. It was a little sketchy there on that one restart. It looks like you lost the lead to the 61 of Josh Gaiman, and I wasn't really sure. I was like, man, he had a quick car. Is he going to come back to you? And sure enough, he did. You guys just stayed. You stayed calm, stayed consistent, man. And he just kind of rolled right back to you. And you went right around him and took off.
Yeah, Gaiman. I mean, he kind of shocked me there. He just kind of sent it on my inside. I was like, okay, well, I'll just let you go. I know he's not really a threat on the long run, so I was, you know what, you can have it for now, and then I'll get it back later. That's exactly what happened. But yeah, it was just like I said, just nice, clean. I was really happy there was no caution at the end there. I was holding my breath, waiting for that white flag to come around.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, you know how those things go. And I had to be a long, long run to the end, just hoping for no caution, man. You're out front leading. I know how that is. Definitely, you just hoping that things just go smooth from now. And honestly, it wasn't that smooth behind you if you go back and look at it. But they held it together enough to kind of keep things on the up and up for you there. So
Yeah, I was hearing the radio chatter, and I was just crossing my toes.
just keep it
And I was
straight.
just keep it off the racing surface, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really what my mind was at. But I had fun tonight. It was a good race. Everybody around me was pretty good, and clean. I kind of feel bad for Fitz for having his pit kind of get ruined, his track to get ruined. But again, that's Phoenix for you, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and listen, you know better than anybody else, probably, right? If you remember back to November, we were here at Phoenix, and some things happened that were kind of unfortunate to you that kind of cost you a chance at the championship. You were in contention. You were actually in the spot to win this championship,
I know it. Yeah,
and
I
then
really back then. I kind of I stepped on my own foot there. Back in November, and you know, part of me was thinking about that tonight too, early on, and I just kind of forgot about it because there's no need to think about it now. But we're moving forward, man. We're moving
yeah,
forward.
I hate to bring it up, but it just adds to the storyline of coming in here, being so dominant, taking the checkered flag, getting that off your plate, getting that off your mind. You don't have to think about that anymore. And like I said, I wasn't even thinking the last week. You brought that up, and I was like, you're right. You had the race kind of in control last week, and then you had an engine issue. So that too was also kind of a vindication. So you really kind of turned things around here in 1 week and kind of being able to put everything behind you. This is going to rejuvenate you, I'm sure.
Yeah, let's keep those good vibes coming my way.
For sure, man. I'm
Don't
gonna throw
need
it
no
to
more incidents.
Tony. Tony, take it away.
Well, I don't really have a question as usual, but I'm going to congratulate you, and I want you to repeat after me. Vengeance is mine, because that's what
Vengeance
it
is
was.
mine.
Because
Yeah.
that's what it was after last season, after last week too. Yeah, you had a hell of a run tonight. You were untouchable when you're out in front. So, how much do you think you love this track, or maybe just a little clean air and you just got this thing dialed in, or what was the deal tonight?
I actually really like this track. The hard part about this track is you kind of have to make your moves early, because once you get about 15 to 20 laps on your tires, it's kind of really, really hard to pass unless the car in front of you makes a mistake. Um, but it's a fun track. It's different. I really enjoy it. I had a lot of fun. I always do here.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it looked like you did for
yeah,
sure.
you made it look easy out there, man. You were out front, able to pull away even from your teammate there, kind of cruising there at the end. Congratulations once again. Next week we go to our first mile and a half. Of course, we have a build before that too. Have you had any thoughts about going forward here? Because we're just about to start our mile and a halves here.
Yeah. I've done some testing on the Premier set. It's good for Vegas. Unfortunately, the only practice we're going to get throughout the week is going to be NIS since it's a week 13. But
That's true.
we're gonna throw it at the wall, see what sticks, like we usually do.
All right, man. Sounds good. Well, man, enjoy tonight. Congratulations on your win. I'm sure you guys are going to do a little partying, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man. So enjoy it. Congratulations. I'm going to let you do your shout outs and your sponsor plugs.
Yes, sir. First foremost, Hot Lap Heroes, working together as a team. Premier Racing setups for the really fast setups every week. And then, I don't know if you guys know yet, but me and Messer started a podcast. It's called Fine Line of Whiskey Podcast. It's on iTunes or Apple and Spotify. So check us out. We got two episodes out already. We'll be doing them weekly. So there's my shout outs.
Very cool. All right, man. Sounds good. We will enjoy it tonight, and we'll see you next week at Las Vegas.
All right, fellas.
All right, your winner tonight, the 98 of Nick Alford, getting it done, Tony. And again, yeah, I didn't even think about last week, but I guess is kind of some vindication from last week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, he unfortunately, popped the engine last week, misshift or something happened, and even last year, but it just shows you he's got what it takes. He got it done tonight. Once he got out front, nobody had anything for him. It just is this going to be the version 2 of Nick Alford that everybody's going to be fearful of going forward here?
Well, I mean, he was one of our Final Four last season.
That's right.
And there's a reason why. I mean, he's quick. He's going to be a contender for sure all season. Him and Brandon Fetterplace both are going to be contenders. You got your points leader finishing third there with Richie Coy. Things are just starting to tighten up a little bit. People are going to start kind of separating themselves from the others. We'll kind of see who the real contenders are. Separate the contenders from the pretenders. And we'll kind of see, too, as we head through the next couple of races. I know we've got Las Vegas next week. We've got Darlington coming up. Bristol's going to be there. Martinsville. Rockingham, that's going to be a new challenge. Some of these guys are going to start separating themselves and racking up those wins and going to start shining above the rest. And we'll see who can actually come out on top in this 2026 A season for the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Look forward to it. And next week, we are at Vegas. Next Monday night, 9 p.m. here on Full Throttle Television. You do not want to miss it. We got some new updates coming in through iRacing. We'll see how that affects things. These guys are going to try to prepare themselves for Vegas and the NIS series. There's going to be some practice going on. We'll see who can come out on top, who can roll the dice, Tony, and who's going to hit the jackpot at Las Vegas. Sir, you like that one?
That's right. That's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, and like you said about tonight, yeah, the cream is definitely rising.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that saying down because it was a little iffy. Anyway.
Takes me a couple tries.
All right. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for us here tonight at Phoenix. We're going to go get our heads examined, and hope you guys enjoyed the race here at Phoenix Raceway. For everybody at Full Throttle Television, for Tony Solari, my name's Brady Hanna. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Monday night from Vegas.